Now, for those of you who listen or access only via YouTube, I hope you will take a moment and go onto Twitter, onto my feed, or onto the Facebook, and pull up the various Christmas, I guess we should call them posts, and look at them there, because you will see that on the Christmas posts on Twitter or Facebook, they're the same, because I post them on Facebook and they go immediately onto Twitter. That I added things to them that unfortunately I've not yet figured out how to do onto a YouTube only post, that included music that I believe was quite good. For instance, onto the acclamation of the midnight service. Angels we have heard on high. The singing occurred where the angels were singing. And then there was the amen singing of the shepherds. There were shepherds singing all over the place. And it was a number of different groups that I'm sure none of you have ever heard of. And I had O Holy Night by the London Voices and a group called Take 6, an a cappella men's group, which are just beautiful, of 6 men. And then another a cappella men's group called Tonic Soul Fa, which are here from Minnesota. And the music I chose specifically because it was specific to either the Christmas message or specific to the readings. And I found it quite moving. I hope you will, if nothing else, go into the postings and find the music and listen to it. Or send me a message and I will send you the specific links to the music. The lesson today is on the Massacre of the Holy Innocents. The Massacre of the Innocents is an incident in the nativity narrative of the Gospel of Matthew, in which Herod the Great, king of Judea, orders the execution of all male children under 2 years of age in the vicinity of Bethlehem. Now at the time, Bethlehem was a very, very small village, whereas now it's a great, great city. So when you think of Bethlehem at that time, it would have been a village of maybe 2,000 households, and that's including the vicinity of Bethlehem. And that is a 5-mile area around Bethlehem. And that is a stretch to call it 2,000. I'm thinking 2,000 would be counting every single household, every single shack to be called a household. At most, it would have been 20 boys that would have been killed. But that is still 20 families destroyed. 20 families that had their joy crushed, their hope killed, and their baby murdered. All because a wicked and evil king had his nose put out of joint by God's angels warning to the 3 kings, so that they didn't return by way of Herod. And they didn't tell him of the birth of the baby king. And then also, that angel warned Joseph and warned Elizabeth. So when Herod knew that he had been mocked by the Magi, he sent his murderers to Bethlehem, saying to them, "Slay the male children, 2 years old and under." Mary, having heard that the children were being killed, was afraid and took the infant Jesus and swaddled him, put him in the ox stall, and then eventually they fled to Egypt. Elizabeth, having heard that they were searching for her John as a well-known male birth, took him up into the hill country and kept looking for where to conceal him. There was no place to conceal. In a loud voice Elizabeth said, "O mountain of God, receive mother and child." Immediately the mountain was cleft and received her with the baby, and a light shone about them, for an angel of the Lord was with them, watching over them. Now some say that this never happened, but in Saturnalia, a Roman text of the 4th century, it described the events. And when Emperor Augustus heard of what had happened, he heard that among the boys in Syria under 2 years of age, whom Herod the king of Jews had ordered killed, was his own son. He had killed one of his own sons that was under 2 years of age. He eventually killed 2 of his other sons. Augustus said, "It is better to be Herod's pig than his son." So there are a number of texts, other than Matthew's Gospel, that tell of this massacre. But because it was so small, many of the major texts found it insignificant. Pray for these babies so that their spirits help other babies.